Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Vietnamese ebook before it's gone.
Want to speak real Vietnamese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at Vietnamesepod101.com.
Hey guys, it's Linh again. Welcome back to Vietnamesepod101.com, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Vietnamese. I have a totally brand new place, which is my house. I'm back for a few weeks to visit my family, so I'm making some new videos for you guys too. Today we will learn about how to compliment someone. I think it's very important because everybody wants to hear compliments, so now let's get started. The first one, if you want to say someone is doing their good job or you want to encourage them after they've done something, so you can say Bạn làm tốt lắm. Bạn làm tốt lắm means you did a great job or good job. So I think it's very easy to say anywhere because it's so easy to apply. Try again one more time. Bạn làm tốt lắm. Bạn làm tốt lắm. The next one is Anh nhiệt tình quá. Anh nhiệt tình quá. To talk to a man, and if you want to talk to a woman, you can say Chị nhiệt tình quá. Chị nhiệt tình quá. And then after that, you can say Cảm ơn anh or Cảm ơn chị to say thank you. So this one literally means you're very enthusiastic or you're very passionate, something like that. It's like they are very enthusiastic to do something to help you or something. So you can just easily say, anh nhiệt tình quá, cảm ơn anh nhé. So if someone invites you to their place to have lunch or dinner, then what should you say after that? I'll show you one way so you can easily say like this. Cảm ơn anh chị vì bữa tối. Cảm ơn anh chị vì bữa tối. Cảm ơn anh chị vì bữa tối. So that means thank you very much for dinner. But if you are invited for lunch, then you can just replace bữa tối by bữa trưa. Bữa trưa. So, cảm ơn anh chị vì bữa trưa. Cảm ơn anh chị vì bữa trưa. In Vietnamese, we have three words for three meals. Bữa sáng means breakfast. Bữa trưa means lunch. And bữa tối means dinner. But one more thing, if you want to say having breakfast, so you can just say ăn sáng. Ăn sáng. Having lunch, ăn trưa. Ăn trưa. And having dinner, ăn tối. Ăn tối. When you see someone wearing something very nice or when you notice someone have something new, you can say màu này hợp với chị lắm. Màu này hợp với chị lắm. Màu này hợp với chị lắm for a woman. And for men, you can say màu này hợp với anh lắm. Màu này hợp với anh lắm. Màu này hợp với anh lắm. That means this color suits you a lot. So when they are wearing a new shirt or a new t-shirt or some new accessories, with nice colors, so you can easily say, this color suits you a lot. Màu này hợp với chị lắm. Màu này hợp với anh lắm. Hôm nay em rất đẹp. Hôm nay em rất đẹp. Hôm nay em rất đẹp. So this one is very simple, but very easy to use everywhere with any woman. So it means today you are very beautiful. So it doesn't mean that the other days you're not beautiful, okay? But that means they are specifically more beautiful than every day. Okay, so hôm nay em rất đẹp. Or you also can use another way, which is hôm nay em đẹp lắm. Hôm nay em đẹp lắm. So both means you are very beautiful today. There is another way to compliment someone, which is to compliment their kids, because usually people are very proud of their kids, right? So if you compliment their kids are very smart or very beautiful or very intelligent, so they absolutely will love it. Okay, now let's see how it looks in the sentence. You can say, cháu nhà chị thông minh ghê. Cháu nhà chị thông minh ghê. Cháu nhà chị thông minh ghê. That means your kid is very intelligent. Or you also can say cháu nhà chị đáng yêu ghê. Cháu nhà chị đáng yêu ghê. That means your kid is very lovely. Okay, I think it's enough to give compliments to someone. Either you're invited to a meal, or you're going to their houses, or you just like the way they look. So I hope it's very helpful for you today. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel, and visit the website VietnamesePod101.com to learn more Vietnamese. Thank you so much for watching the video, and see you in the next one.
Xin chào, tôi là Huyền. Ngày lễ tình yêu 14 tháng 2 được đặt tên theo Thánh Valentine và là ngày mà cả thế giới tôn vinh tình yêu đôi lứa. Trong ngày này, các cặp tình nhân bày tỏ tình yêu của mình bằng cách gửi cho nhau thiệp Valentine, hoa hồng, sô-cô-la và một số loại quà tặng đặc biệt khác có nhiều ý nghĩa. Trong bài học này, chúng ta hãy cùng tìm hiểu các cặp đôi tại Việt Nam thể hiện tình cảm như thế nào trong ngày lễ tình yêu nhé! Bạn có biết, theo quan niệm cũ, khi yêu nhau, người Việt Nam tránh tặng đồ vật gì không? Chúng tôi sẽ cho bạn biết đáp án vào phần cuối video này. Không biết chính xác từ năm nào, người Việt Nam bắt đầu kỷ niệm ngày lễ này, nhưng có một điều không thể phủ nhận, đó là các cặp đôi đang yêu hay các cặp vợ chồng Việt Nam rất yêu thích ngày 14 tháng 2. Chính vì vậy, đây cũng trở thành một trong những dịp lễ được yêu thích đối với các nhà cung cấp, vì nhu cầu tiêu dùng và sử dụng dịch vụ của khách hàng sẽ tăng đột biến trong ngày này. Các chàng trai, cô gái trẻ sẽ đi sắm sửa quần áo mới, đến các spa, salon tóc để làm đẹp cho buổi hẹn hò. Các nhà hàng, quán cà phê cũng bày biện hết sức lãng mạn để thu hút các cặp đôi tới dùng bữa và trò chuyện kỷ niệm ngày lễ. Tất cả các rạp chiếu phim đều kín chỗ, đặc biệt là với các phim tâm lý tình cảm, phù hợp với không khí ngày lễ dành cho tình yêu. Các cặp đôi thường cẩn thận đặt vé trước vài ngày để có được chỗ ngồi tốt nhất trong rạp. Ngoài ra, các hàng bán hay dịch vụ liên quan đến hoa cũng rất đông khách. Hoa hồng đủ các màu sắc được bày bán khắp nơi, nhưng được ưa chuộng nhất vẫn là hoa hồng đỏ. Ngoài hoa hồng, sô-cô-la là món quà không thể thiếu trong ngày lễ tình yêu. Rất đông người xếp hàng mua sô-cô-la tại các cửa hàng chuyên biệt hoặc siêu thị. Có những bạn trẻ lãng mạn còn tự mua nguyên liệu để tự làm sô-cô-la với hình dáng theo ý muốn để tặng người mình yêu. Tuy nhiên, cũng có một số khác mua nước hoa, đồ dùng đắt tiền để làm quà vì có lẽ họ muốn món quà có thể dùng và lưu giữ lâu hơn. Trong khi hầu hết các bạn trẻ đều thích sưu tầm các mẫu thiệp đẹp, đáng yêu và lãng mạn để tặng kèm quà, thì một số đôi vợ chồng lớn tuổi vẫn chưa quen với việc thể hiện cảm xúc qua những tấm thiệp này. Và bây giờ, tôi sẽ cho bạn biết đáp án của câu đố đã nêu ra lúc trước. Bạn có biết, theo quan niệm cũ, khi yêu nhau người Việt Nam tránh tặng đồ vật gì không? Theo quan niệm cũ, một số người nói rằng nên tránh tặng giày dép, vì theo họ, sau khi tặng xong người yêu sẽ đi mất, hoặc không tặng khăn tay, vì khăn tay dùng để lau mồ hôi và nước mắt, tượng trưng cho sự khó khăn và đau buồn. Tuy nhiên, đây chỉ là cách suy luận không có cơ sở và số người tin vào điều này ngày càng ít đi. Bài học này thế nào? Các bạn đã học được nhiều điều thú vị chứ? Nếu bạn muốn tặng quà một người Việt Nam trong ngày này, bạn đã biết nên tránh tặng món đồ gì rồi chứ? Hãy để lại ý kiến cho chúng tôi tại vietnamesepod101.com. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào bài học tiếp theo nhé!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how to learn a language in 2022. If you're planning to learn a language in 2022, then this episode is for you, especially if you want to finally succeed with your New Year's resolution, instead of failing or giving up in the next week or two. That's why today you'll discover 1. The 4 critical steps you need to take when learning a new language, and 2. How to set goals and New Year's resolutions that won't fail you in 2022. But first, if you're looking for some free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Using Opposites Conversation Cheat Sheet. With this new cheat sheet, you'll learn common opposite adjectives like near and far, hot and cold, and grammar rules on how to use these words in a sentence. Second, the How to Say Goodbye PDF Writing Workbook. With this printable PDF, you'll pick up some common parting greetings and be able to practice writing them out. Third, can you talk about cars in your target language? Learn how to say words like tire, windshield, headlights, and more with this quick vocab bonus. Fourth, must know words and phrases for public transportation. Learn how to say ticket, bus, train, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Fifth, the 10 habits of highly effective language learners. Wondering which habits will help you succeed with language learning? Then check out this free lesson. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How to learn a language in 2022. Part 1. The 4 critical steps you need to take when learning a new language. Every time you start a new language, you should start with 1. Goals, 2. Anchor points, 3. Grammar, 4. Reading. What are these 4 steps, and why do you need them to succeed with language learning? Let's jump in. The first one is goals. Everything starts with a goal, but your goal itself can also lead you to failure if you don't set it the right way. So more specifically, you need to set small, measurable monthly goals instead of just, I want to learn a language and be fluent this year. We'll cover goals in the second part of this episode, so stay tuned. After goals, the second step is setting anchor points. What are anchor points? Imagine a small ship in the middle of a big lake. It's windy, lots of waves, and the ship is bobbing up and down, drifting all around. What would you use to stop the ship from drifting away? An anchor. And just like an anchor keeps the ship in place, anchor points keep you from drifting away from your language. So an anchor point is a connection to the language that keeps you attached to the language and motivated to learn the language. One great example is language school. Imagine you signed up and paid thousands of dollars up front. Paying that much would motivate you to make the most of your time there. It's also a big commitment, one that you can't easily back out of. And school dictates your schedule. You have to wake up early, you have to do homework. Your life revolves around the classes. And as such, language school and the language itself become anchor points that your life revolves around. Anchor points can also be family or a partner that speaks the language you're learning. You're around them, you're exposed to the language, so your motivation to learn gets a bit stronger. Buying a language learning program or textbook are also examples of good anchor points. You invested your hard-earned money, which means you're serious about learning. Plus, you want to make sure your investment doesn't go to waste, so you're more motivated. If you're wondering if you have any anchor points, you already have at least one. You're watching our lessons on YouTube, but the more anchor points you have, the stronger your motivation will be. So if you're into music or TV shows in your target language, those can serve as anchor points too. These are things that connect you to the language and add a bit of motivation to learn more, or at the very least, understand what you're watching or listening to. We covered goals and anchor points. What's next? The third step is you must have a good grasp of grammar of your native language. Now, you might wonder, if you're learning a new language, why focus on your native language? Well, as native speakers, the problem is we know what good grammar sounds like, but we can't explain how or why our language works the way it works. So if you don't have a good grasp of grammar, the backbone or the rules of a language, then you'll have a tough time learning a new language. You'll jump in and start learning words and phrases, but you'll never learn how to put them together and make sentences. That's a common problem beginners have. Now, if you already know the grammar of your native language, how do you apply that to your target language? For example, if you're an English speaker, and if you know that English sentences follow the subject, verb, object pattern, and if you know that languages have specific sentence patterns, then you'd go look at patterns. Then you'd have a good idea of how to create your own sentences, instead of learning random words first. Finally, the fourth step is reading. Reading is good simply because you can do it anywhere, anytime, and without a teacher. It's a skill you can get started on day one, on your own. Reading also tends to spill over into other areas. The more you read, the more words and grammar rules you come across, so you boost your vocabulary and grammar, which can seep into speaking and listening. If you read out loud, you're practicing two skills at once. Now, we've covered what you need: goals, anchor points, reading, and grammar. Setting anchor points, knowing your own grammar, and reading are simple enough, but how do you set goals that don't lead you to failure? Part 2. How to set goals and New Year's resolutions that won't fail you in 2022. The goal that you set can make or break your language learning journey, so setting the right goals makes all the difference between success and failure. Just think about all of the common New Year's resolutions. What comes to mind? Goals like, I want to be fluent someday. I want to speak the language. I want to lose weight. I want to save more money. These big, vague goals often lead to failure because you simply have no idea how to approach the goal and you don't know what you're aiming for. Instead, your goals should be small, measurable, and monthly. For example, speak 1 minute of conversation by the end of the month. Learn 100 words by the end of the month. Finish chapter 1 of your language textbook by the end of the month. If you're using our program, finish 20 audio lessons by the end of the month. All of these are small and specific. 1 minute, 100 words, 1 chapter, 20 audio lessons. This means that they're easy to reach, unlike something vague like fluency. They're also measurable. You know when you reach 1 minute. You can check if you know all 100 words or if you finished all 20 lessons. If you aim for fluency, you won't know when you hit it. It's too vague and too big of a goal, and it may take years to hit. Finally, all of these goals have a deadline, the end of the month. That would mean January 31st of this year. Deadlines give you a clear date to aim for, and without one, you'll forever be floating around without much progress. So set a deadline for the end of every month. So now that you know how to set small, measurable monthly goals, leave us a comment. What's your small, measurable monthly goal, and what's the deadline? So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
Want to speak real Vietnamese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at Vietnamesepod101.com.
Hello again. So today we will talk about top Vietnamese dishes you must try when you travel to Vietnam. And my name is Ling. Welcome back to VietnamesePod101.com, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Vietnamese. I'm from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, and which is the north. So I've lived there for like my whole life. I just moved out 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and I'm living in Ho Chi Minh City, which is the south of Vietnam. So I have to say that my taste is very northern. Like I love northern food. I love the taste there. But since I moved to Ho Chi Minh City, I have different experience about the southern food, the local food. So today I share you some differences between the food in the north and the food in the south. In the north, we prefer to have the natural sweetness of the ingredients. So we don't really put so much seasoning or too many different ingredients, but instead we prefer to enjoy the real flavor of the food, of the ingredients. And food in Ho Chi Minh City, which is the south of Vietnam, I feel like here they like to have a lot of seasoning, a lot of ingredients, a lot of oil. They put a lot of sugar and oil in the dishes. Now let's talk about the eating habits. There are some very typical cultures in Vietnam. For example, when eating, we use the chopsticks instead of using fork or knife. But we use chopsticks and spoons. Also, when eating, usually when we start eating, young people in the family will address old people in the family to show respect. We say something like, have a good meal or bon appetit. So in Vietnamese, you can say, con mời bố mẹ ăn cơm. So I address my parents, con mời bố mẹ ăn cơm. So from the north, people would prefer to have dinner together at home, but from the south, people will go out for eating. So that is the big difference between the northern people and the southern people. Now it's the best part. Let's talk about 10 famous dishes that you don't want to miss in Vietnam. Let's start with the number one, pho. Pho. So you must have heard about pho a lot when talking about Vietnamese food. So we have chicken and beef pho, phở gà, and phở bò. So chicken pho and beef pho. I would say pho is from the north. I'm not sure if it's from Hanoi or Nam Định, but it's from the north. So it's very sweet, the natural sweetness of the meat and the bones, and also the combination between some noodles, some soup, some meat, some onion, some spring onion, and a little bit of chili sauce and fish sauce and lime. And it's the best breakfast ever. The best. I can eat pho every day. I mean, every day. Next one is bánh mì ba tê. Bánh mì ba tê. So I think you know about bánh mì. It's famous. It's popular everywhere in the world, and there are many kinds, many versions of bánh mì. But it's also like the inspiration for Miss Universe. She has a bánh mì custom when going to the competition, and it's very funny. But I have to say that bánh mì is like the symbol of Vietnam. So we have bánh mì ba tê, bánh mì chả, bánh mì trứng, bánh mì thập cẩm, bánh mì heo quay, bánh mì xá xíu, many kinds. So don't forget to try one bánh mì when you are traveling or when you are walking on the road. It can be easily found everywhere. Bún chả. Bún chả. Bún chả is one of the best dishes that every foreigners love because It's easy to eat, it's tasty, it's light, it's healthy, and it's just delicious. So usually bún chả is made of pork. I can't only think about the other versions of bún chả, but it's pork, and they chop the meats. They mix with some seasoning and they grill it. And the fish sauce is the key point of the dish. Okay, you have to mix some fish sauce and some sugar, some vinegar, garlic, peppers. You have to boil it a little bit to make it to make all the flavors go well together or something. And then you eat with noodle, with the rice noodle, which is bún. So bún is the noodle and chả is the meat. Amazing. Soy soy is sticky rice, and you know, maybe you know mango sticky rice from Thailand, but in Vietnam we have also many different kinds of soy. So we have soy thịt, so sticky rice with meat, but they cook very well. They slow cook for a long time. The meat becomes very soft, very tender, very juicy, but very tasty. And we eat with sticky rice. So also we have soy mo from corn. So it's like corn sticky rice, soy xéo, soy gà, soy chả, soy pate, soy a lot. But for me, sticky rice is a little bit hard. It's a little bit heavy for breakfast. So usually I eat sticky rice for lunch, or it's like in the middle of the day. Name is from the north, but from the south they say chả giò. So this is one of my favorite dishes because I can cook it. So this is a combination of vegetables, carrot, meat, some glass noodle, some onions, some pepper, some spring onion, some other vegetables, some dry shrimps, some mushroom, and they mix all of them together. They put it in the rice cake, and then they roll them, and after that they fry it. So it will be very crunchy outside, but very soft and moist inside. And you have to make a sauce to eat with noodles. So usually we eat nem with bún chả. So we have bún chả, bún nem, or yeah, that's it. And this nem is always on the plate of holiday, public holiday, especially Tết, Lunar New Year. Bánh cuốn. So the special thing about this dish is it's very light, and you can either eat for breakfast, for lunch, for brunch, for snack in the afternoon, and even for dinner. So it's very flexible, and the key is also the sauce, the fish sauce. So we have bánh cuốn Thanh Trì, bánh cuốn Hà Nội, bánh cuốn Tây Hồ. Usually it's like the name is from where the bánh cuốn is made. Bún riêu is like a kind of noodles that you eat with Vietnamese crabs. So the Vietnamese crab is very small, like this. Not that big, so very small. So they will make it. They will, how to say, smash it, the crabs, and then when it becomes very small, they will use water to filter the water, and then the meat of the crab will come out from the shell, and then they cook the soup with that liquid, and it becomes very, very sweet, the natural sweetness that I told before. So after that, they put some tomato, tofu, onions, probably beef, or depends on your taste. They will put ingredients, and then you eat with noodle. And the soup is amazing. It's very, very, very sweet. It's very light. It's very healthy as well, and it's just tasty. Bún đậu mắm tôm. So this is a tricky dish because not so many people can eat that. The key is the mắm tôm. Mắm tôm. Mắm tôm is like the sauce from shrimp, not from fish, not fish sauce, but we have shrimp sauce. So it smells really, 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 really strong. And if you are sensitive with smells, with strong smells, like you can't eat durian, so you better be careful before you taste this. When you can't handle the smell, the combination of noodle, fried tofu, and the shrimp sauce, it just so tasty. It's too good to resist, because once you get familiar with that, I think like you will get addicted. So nowadays we have some other kinds of protein to eat with bún đậu mắm tôm, because before, when we were very, very poor, our parents or maybe grandparents designed this dish to handle the hunger. So now it becomes very popular because it's also a traditional dish of Vietnam. Bún bò Huế. Bún bò Huế. So this is one of the dishes from the center of Vietnam, which is Huế. So bún here, it's also a kind of noodle, and bò is beef. So this is basically from beef and beef bones. The soup is very tasty. It's very sweet. It's very, very sweet, and also because it's from the center, so they put some sugar, I guess. Also, they put some gingers and some other kinds of herbs that I'm not sure the name, because usually the soup is the secret, the key of the dish. So bún bò Huế. Bún bò Huế. Last one I'd like to share is like the most popular dish in Ho Chi Minh City, which is cơm tấm. Cơm tấm. Cơm tấm is everywhere. It's like they can eat for breakfast, they eat for lunch, they eat for dinner, they eat anytime. And it's very healthy, it's very light, it's very cheap. It's only around 25,000, which is $1, and you can have a box of cơm tấm. And it's good for like half of a day, so I think it's very convenient. Okay, I'm very hungry now. I have to go and probably have some spring rolls because I love it. It's everywhere here. It's easy to find and it's affordable. I hope that you like this video, and I really like these kind of topics that you suggested. So please suggest more topics for the next videos. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe the channel, and visit the website VietnamesePod101.com to learn more Vietnamese and to get your free lifetime account right now. Thank you so much, and see you. I'm going to eat now.
Xin chào, tôi là Huyền, một trong những người anh hùng vĩ đại đóng vai trò quan trọng nhất trong lịch sử đấu tranh giữ nước Việt Nam chính là Hồ Chí Minh. Ông được cả dân tộc Việt Nam tôn thờ, kính yêu. Vì vậy, ngày sinh của Chủ tịch Hồ Chí Minh vào 19 tháng 5 được nhà nước và nhân dân kỷ niệm rất long trọng. Trong bài học này, chúng ta hãy cùng tìm hiểu về hoạt động kỷ niệm ngày sinh của Hồ Chủ tịch, cũng như những thông tin liên quan về ông nhé. Bạn có biết các tên gọi gần gũi hơn mà người Việt Nam thường dùng khi nhắc tới Chủ tịch Hồ Chí Minh? Chúng tôi sẽ cho bạn biết đáp án vào phần cuối video này. Hồ Chí Minh tên thật là Nguyễn Sinh Cung, sinh năm 1890 trong một gia đình nhà nho tại một ngôi làng nhỏ ở Nghệ An, miền Trung Việt Nam. Ông là người đóng vai trò quyết định trong các cuộc đấu tranh của người Việt với các cường quốc như Pháp, Mỹ thời đó. Với sự hướng dẫn và chỉ đạo tài ba, Hồ Chủ tịch đã đưa dân tộc Việt Nam đến chiến thắng và giành lại độc lập tự do, thống nhất đất nước. Vào ngày 19 tháng 5 hàng năm, rất nhiều các hoạt động tưởng nhớ về Hồ Chủ tịch được tổ chức trên toàn quốc. Các cuộc thi ảnh, triển lãm tư liệu về ông được hưởng ứng nhiệt liệt. Đồng thời vào dịp này, rất nhiều người dân từ khắp mọi miền đất nước về thăm Nam Đàn, Nghệ An để thể hiện tấm lòng biết ơn với vị lãnh tụ vĩ đại. Ngoài ra, Lăng Chủ tịch tại thủ đô Hà Nội cũng là nơi nhiều người đến viếng thăm và tưởng niệm ông trong ngày này. Nhân dịp kỷ niệm ngày sinh Hồ Chủ tịch, các kênh truyền hình Việt Nam như VTV1, VTV3 cũng thường xuyên đăng tải phim tài liệu về con người, sự nghiệp và cuộc đời ông trong những năm tháng đấu tranh vì hòa bình dân tộc. Có những thước phim đã được chiếu lại nhiều lần, tuy nhiên, rất nhiều người Việt Nam vẫn luôn xúc động và cảm thấy tự hào khi xem lại những hình ảnh đó. Bạn sẽ có thể dễ dàng tìm thấy những bức ảnh, biểu ngữ, câu nói nổi tiếng của Hồ Chủ tịch được treo khắp nơi trên đường phố và các quảng trường lớn. Câu nói nổi tiếng nhất của Hồ Chí Minh mà mọi người dân Việt Nam vẫn luôn ghi nhớ đó là "Không gì quý hơn độc lập, tự do", được trích từ lời kêu gọi chống Mỹ cứu nước của ông vào ngày 17 tháng 7 năm 1966. Và bây giờ, tôi sẽ cho bạn biết đáp án của câu đố đã nêu ra lúc trước. Bạn có biết các tên gọi gần gũi hơn mà người Việt Nam thường dùng khi nhắc tới Chủ tịch Hồ Chí Minh? Các tên gọi thân thương đó là Bác Hồ, Cụ Hồ, thể hiện sự tôn trọng, yêu thương của người dân trước nhân cách cao đẹp của một con người vĩ đại như Hồ Chí Minh. Bài học này thế nào? Các bạn đã học được nhiều điều thú vị chứ? Ở đất nước bạn, ai được coi là vị anh hùng dân tộc giống như Hồ Chí Minh ở Việt Nam? Hãy để lại ý kiến cho chúng tôi tại vietnamesepod101.com. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào bài học tiếp theo nhé!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So, click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is, are you an introvert or an extrovert? And how to speak more of your target language. Since you're learning the language, then you're very much aware of the importance of speaking, which can be easy if you're an extrovert or hard if you're an introvert. So, how can you speak more if you're on the shy side? Keep watching this month's episode. You'll discover who learns faster, extroverts or introverts, why learning a language can help you become more extroverted, and 5 ways to speak more, even if you're an introvert. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Sport and Exercise Conversation Cheat Sheet. Want to talk about fitness in your target language? You'll learn over 50 words and phrases for sports and exercise with this brand new cheat sheet. Second, the 40 words and phrases for ordering food writing workbook. With this free resource, you'll pick up must-know words and phrases for the restaurant and practice writing them out as well. Third, the top 12 April Fool's phrases. Want to be able to say some outrageous phrases in your target language for April Fool's Day? Then you'll want this April Fool's phrase list. Fourth, can you talk about your bones in your target language? Learn how to say words like skull, ribs, spine, and much more with this quick vocab bonus. Fifth, 20 must-know jewelry vocabulary. Do you know how to say earrings or necklace in your target language? If you don't, then this vocab lesson is for you. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? And how to speak more of your target language. Part 1. Do extroverts or introverts learn languages faster? If you've ever wondered whether introverts or extroverts learn the language faster, there have been studies done on this. And as you'd expect, extroverts do have an advantage when it comes to speaking and overall conversational skills. Of course, these studies didn't take into account mistakes you may make, such as grammar, vocab, etc. And introverts? Introverts tend to observe and listen more, and tend to be better listeners. Do you agree with these findings? Leave a comment. So the key takeaway is they each have their own advantages. One has something that the other lacks. And that makes sense, doesn't it? If you speak less, your speaking skills will be weaker. And if you want to just speak a lot, you get good at speaking but miss out on the other skills, like listening and reading. So unfortunately, you can't really say who learns faster based on personality alone, just that each one has their advantages and disadvantages. But personality aside, success with a language will always depend on your attitude towards learning itself and how much time you put in. The person that has a better chance of becoming fluent will always be the one that puts in more time to learn, practice, get feedback, adjust with the feedback, and not so much about whether they're extroverted or introverted. But what if you're an introvert who wants to be able to speak more? Is there a way to become more extroverted? Part 2. How to speak more, even if you're an introvert. There are ways to become more extroverted, at least more than your usual self. How? Well, first, by learning a language. When you learn a language, you have a natural desire to connect with native speakers, even if you're shy. Also, native speakers tend to be very supportive and welcoming when you're trying to learn their language. So even if you're shy, it's kind of hard to stay shy in the long run when the people you speak with are so encouraging. In your native language, even if you know a million ways to start a conversation, you might not try to speak to someone because you're worried about whether you have something clever to say or the timing or some other social aspect. But in another language, where you may only know a few phrases, you're not bogged down by that. You just do the best you can with the few phrases you have. Plus, learning a language alone gives you a chance to reinvent yourself. To learn another language is to acquire another soul, as the quote goes. So, learning a language alone puts you on a path towards becoming more extroverted. But if you want specific tips, here are 5 ways to speak more, even if you're an introvert. Number 1. Learn how to listen like an introvert. How can this help you to speak more? Introverts tend to listen more, and the better listener you become, the better questions you can ask, which results in a more meaningful conversation, which also means more speaking time for you. So you can speak more even if you consider yourself an introvert by listening well and asking relevant and pertinent questions. By the way, if you want to learn how to ask questions, then check out our top 25 questions you need to know, where you'll learn all about what to ask and answer regarding the most common conversational questions. Number 2, increase speaking time and confidence through experience. Simply put, the more experiences you have in life or experience with certain topics, the more knowledgeable you become. And as your life or work experiences grow, so will your audience. You'll find people coming to you to talk to you. It could be about business, travel, or just your own life stories. If a conversation is about France, and if you've been to France, the conversation will gravitate towards you. Having all that experience makes things easy for you as an introvert. People will come to you, so you don't have to find them. For a language learner, the tricks are to 1. Be knowledgeable about something, and 2. Be able to talk about your experience in the target language. Number 3. Find the right audience. Imagine talking to someone that's not interested in learning languages. They'll give you 100 reasons why they can't learn, never reasons why it might work out for them, right? But when you're talking to an audience that's interested in languages, then you can have a conversation that could go on for hours. So find the right audience to share with. With language learning, it means you need to find native speakers that share the same hobbies or interests as you. Number 4, talk about what you know best. The introvert-extrovert dynamic also depends on how much you know about a topic and what you're most comfortable with. There are topics you may not know enough about, so you won't talk as much. But even the biggest introvert can become a confident speaker once you touch upon a topic they know well. That's where they shine. So if your goal is to be more extroverted, then focus on the things you know about. Or you can always gain experience in topics you don't know much about so you can speak more. Number 5, create opportunities to speak. How? Well, it's hard to stop a stranger and start talking with them without any context, right? But what if you need help finding something at a store, or have a question about a dish at a restaurant? then it's much easier since you're there with a purpose. So you can create these opportunities by going to a restaurant from the country that speaks your target language and speaking with the staff, or asking a taxi driver a question, or asking staff at an information booth a question. So to recap, if you want to speak more, even if you're an introvert, 1. Listen like an introvert. 2. Increase speaking time and confidence through experience. 3. Find the right audience. 4. Talk about what you know best. And 5. Create opportunities to speak. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how tipping points will bring you closer to your language goals. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
Xin chào, tôi là Huyền. Ngày 30 tháng 4 hay còn gọi là Ngày Giải phóng miền Nam là một cột mốc quan trọng trong lịch sử Việt Nam. Ngày này đã đánh dấu thời điểm đất nước Việt Nam hoàn toàn độc lập và thống nhất trên toàn lãnh thổ. Vì vậy, nó đã trở thành một ngày nghỉ lễ chính thức tại Việt Nam. Trong bài học này, chúng ta sẽ cùng tìm hiểu ý nghĩa lịch sử và các hoạt động trong ngày lễ này tại Việt Nam. Tên gọi cũ của thành phố Hồ Chí Minh ngay trước năm 1975 là gì? Chúng tôi sẽ cho bạn biết đáp án vào phần cuối video này. Với tên gọi khác, Ngày thống nhất đất nước là ngày diễn ra sự kiện chấm dứt chiến tranh Việt Nam khi Tổng thống Việt Nam Cộng Hòa cùng nội các bị bắt tại chỗ và phải tuyên bố đầu hàng vô điều kiện các lực lượng Việt Nam Dân Chủ Cộng Hòa và Mặt trận Dân tộc Giải phóng miền Nam Việt Nam vào sáng ngày 30 tháng 4 năm 1975. Sự kiện này đã chấm dứt chiến tranh Việt Nam và chiến tranh Đông Dương, đồng nghĩa với chấm dứt sự can thiệp trực tiếp bằng quân sự của các cường quốc thế giới vào Việt Nam. Và từ đó, nước Cộng hòa xã hội chủ nghĩa Việt Nam ra đời. Sự kiện này cũng là điểm khởi đầu cho hiện tượng thuyền nhân Việt Nam bỏ nước ra đi vì các lý do chính trị hoặc kinh tế. Với ý nghĩa quan trọng như vậy, hàng năm, nhà nước và nhân dân Việt Nam thường xuyên tổ chức kỷ niệm ngày lễ này với các hoạt động đoàn thể trong các cơ quan, công ty nhà nước. Các hoạt động ca múa nhạc có nội dung liên quan đến ngày này sẽ tổ chức tại các địa điểm công cộng như các quảng trường, khu trung tâm thành phố để các người dân luôn nhớ đến ngày lịch sử và duy trì tinh thần chiến đấu bất diệt của các thế hệ trước. Liền sau ngày 30 tháng 4 là ngày nghỉ lễ quốc tế lao động. Do đó, nhiều người Việt có xu hướng tận dụng thời gian này để đi du lịch trong và ngoài nước. Vé máy bay du lịch trong dịp này thường cao hơn bình thường. Và bây giờ, tôi sẽ cho bạn biết đáp án của câu đố đã nêu ra lúc trước. Tên gọi cũ của thành phố Hồ Chí Minh ngay trước năm 1975 là gì? Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh trước đây có tên gọi là Sài Gòn. Tuy nhiên, theo thói quen thì hiện giờ cũng còn khá nhiều người gọi thành phố này với tên cũ đó. Bài học này thế nào? Các bạn đã học được nhiều điều thú vị chứ? Tại nước bạn có tổ chức kỷ niệm ngày giải phóng đất nước không? Hãy để lại ý kiến cho chúng tôi tại vietnamesepod101.com. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào bài học tiếp theo nhé!
Want to speak real Vietnamese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at vietnamesepod101.com.
Xin chào các bạn, tôi là Linh, rất vui được gặp lại. Hello everyone, my name is Linh and I'm back with a very interesting topic which is living cost in Vietnam. So recently there are a lot of foreigners coming to work and to live in Vietnam. But before moving in, probably they will have a same question, which is maybe how much to spend a month in general for living in Vietnam. But depends on your budget or depends on your income. So you will have different levels, different ideas to live in Vietnam. But actually, I have to say that the living cost in Vietnam is pretty affordable. So today, I will give you an overview about that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so first let's talk about the currency. In Vietnam, we use Vietnam đồng, which is VND, and $1 is 22,500 Vietnam đồng. So usually we make it around 21 or 22, but because we have too many zeros, so a lot of foreigners, they get confused when they first come to Vietnam. Usually the way we use in Vietnamese is we leave the last three zeros. For example, 22,000 Vietnam đồng, we will say 22. Or 100,000 Vietnam đồng, which is around $4, less than $4, we will say 100. That's how you can manage. That's how you can recognize the value of money in the Vietnam đồng. Okay? Alright, so first coming to Vietnam, then of course you have to care about the accommodation. So let's say you don't have a place to live in Vietnam, so the best way to stay is to rent a house or an apartment. Depends on your budget, right? But for me, I think the rate for local people is slightly cheaper than the rate for foreigners, because usually foreigners, they would prefer to stay in probably big building with service or with management or with security or parking lot, something like that. I would say depends on how large the apartment is or how large the house is, that it will affect the rent. So for me, I moved from Hanoi, I moved to Ho Chi Minh City, and I rent a place around 6 million. 6 million Vietnam đồng, which is around $300, probably less than 300. And I don't have to pay for any management fee or internet or something. So it includes everything except water and electricity. Okay, so for foreigners, usually I see my coworkers, they rent around $400 or $500 an apartment, a big one. Okay, so for the rent, something like that. And the rent in Vietnamese is tiền thuê nhà. Tiền thuê nhà. Thuê here means to rent. Nhà is the house and tiền is money. So tiền thuê nhà is the rent. So there are many kinds of bill, right? For example, water bill. So you can say hóa đơn tiền nước. Hóa đơn tiền nước. Hóa đơn here is bill, tiền is money, and nước is water. Hóa đơn tiền nước. Or you have to pay for tiền điện. Tiền điện means electricity bill or electricity money. Tiền điện. Okay, so we have three big things: tiền thuê nhà, tiền điện, và tiền nước. For me, where I stay in Ho Chi Minh City, I have to pay 100,000 Vietnam đồng, which is around $4 a month for unlimited water. But for electricity, it'll be around probably 200 Vietnam đồng or 300 Vietnam đồng, depends on how much electricity I use. So if some months are very, very hot, I have to use the AC a lot, so it will be around 700. It's like $35, something like that. One more thing you have to pay for is the internet and the Wi-Fi, right? So you can say tiền internet. Tiền means money. Tiền internet or tiền mạng. Tiền mạng. Mạng here is a network. So tiền nhà, tiền điện, tiền nước, tiền internet. Alright, so before renting, usually in Vietnam, they will ask, the landlord will ask for 1 or 2 months deposit, depends on how long you stay. From the north, usually the landlord will ask for 3 months minimum. But in the south, they will ask for at least 1 month, only that. So, landlord is chủ nhà, chủ nhà, chủ nhà. And the deposit money is tiền đặt cọc, tiền đặt cọc, tiền đặt cọc. Now let's talk about food. In Vietnamese, đồ ăn, đồ ăn, đồ ăn. And also for drinks, you can say đồ uống, đồ uống, đồ uống. So ăn is eat and uống is drink. For local food, it's very affordable. I have to say that. So usually you can easily find a bowl of rice or a bowl of noodles or any kinds of noodles in Vietnam with around 30,000 or 40,000. That is cheap, okay? 30 or 40,000. So local food, đồ ăn địa phương, đồ ăn địa phương. We have many kinds of local food, which I will introduce in another video, so keep in touch. In Vietnamese, restaurant is nhà hàng, nhà hàng, nhà hàng. Or we have another common word, which is quán ăn, quán ăn. And when you come to this kind of restaurant, it will cost around 100 to 150 each person. But of course, depends on how much you order, right? If you want to have a dating environment, or if you want to go to a fancy restaurant, there will be unlimited price, okay? For example, for buffets, it probably costs around 350,000 Vietnam dong, or even more, 500,000. And for seafood buffets or something like that, it will cost around 600 or 700, which is $35 each person. But also there are a lot of Western restaurants in Vietnam, especially in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. And if there are real authentic restaurants organized by Westerners or something like that, or some foreign chefs, it'll be around 1 million a person, maybe more. But you will have like authentic steak or wine or alcohol, and everything is imported. So I think it's a good price. It's a good deal compared to going to other cities or other countries, because I've been to quite a few. But I have to say that living in Vietnam, especially, food is much more affordable. Okay, how about you are not familiar with local food, or you also want to have budget meal? So I suggest you to cook at home. You can go to the markets, chợ, or you can go to the supermarket, siêu thị, to buy food. And usually if you cook at home, it'll cost around 100 a day for probably 2 meals. But if you buy like Western food or Western ingredients, it'll be around 200, 300, depends on the budget. But if I cook, usually I cook for myself only, and it costs around only 100, and I can cook like for 2 meals, something like that. Alright, now it's an interesting part, which is drinks. I have to say beer in Vietnam is super cheap. You can easily find in siêu thị tiện ích, siêu thị tiện ích, it's convenience store, or supermarket, siêu thị, or anywhere any kinds of restaurants would have many kinds of beer. So usually if you buy it at Siêu Thị, it will cost around 15,000 or 20,000. It's like less than $1. You can have a bottle of beer or a can of beer. And it's good. It's good. It's authentic, right? But if you go to a restaurant, nhà hàng, then you will have to pay around 30,000 or 40,000. Even more, depends on the restaurant. So a glass of wine, rượu vang. For a local restaurant, it'll cost around 70,000 or 80,000, which is $3. But if in a bar or in fancy restaurant, it might cost around 250. Yeah, that's all for today. I think that's enough for you to have an overview about the living cost in Vietnam, and I hope it's helpful when you are planning to travel or to visit or to live in Vietnam. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel, and visit the website VietnamesePod101.com to learn more Vietnamese with us. I'm Linh, and thank you so much for watching the video. See you next time. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Vietnamese ebook before it's gone.